In 100 days, the world's greatest athletes will gather in Beijing to open the 2008 Summer Olympics. But the Games are in danger of being overshadowed by the increasing controversy over protests in Tibet and China's human rights record. Today, state media in China reported 30 people, including 6 monks, were sentenced to prison for their roles in deadly riots in Tibet last month. For years, Dr. Jianli worked to promote democracy in China, but in 2002, he was arrested, convicted of spying, and thrown into a Chinese prison where he spent most of the next 5 years. It's been a year since he was released from jail and returned to the United States. He makes his home in this area. On Sunday, he'll begin a walk from Boston to Washington, D.C., the goal to bring attention to human rights. Dr. Jianli joins me now. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, Chet.
We talked shortly after you got back to Boston and your home, and were reunited with your family. Tell me again, you want to attract more attention to China's human rights violations, and particularly at this time when the world's eyes are focused on China. We're 100 days away from the Olympics.
Yes. You know, the Chinese human rights record is incompatible with such an event. I mean, Olympic Games in Beijing this summer. So I will take a walk to raise awareness of human rights issues in China, and to call the continued moral leadership from the United States.
And you begin in Boston on Sunday, starting with a rally on City Hall Plaza, right?
Yes. The kickoff rally will begin at 2:30 at Boston City Hall Plaza. So please to join me there to send me off.
And when do you expect to arrive in Washington?
I plan to conclude my walk on June 4th. Which is the 19th anniversary of the Tiananmen Square massacre.
Now, you have a name for this walk. What is it?
That is the Gongmin Walk. Gongmin in Chinese means citizen power. So I believe, you know, China's hope for the future lies in the weakening of citizen spirit and the growth of citizen power.
Do you think that there can be some meaningful changes made in the next 100 days?
Possible. You know, when people ask me if it is a good thing to have China to host the games, I think it depends on what we do. See, just 2 months ago, if you told anybody there would be a dialogue between Chinese government and the Dalai Lama's representative, many people would not believe you, but it happened. It happened just a couple of days ago, thanks to the protest by the Tibetans and the international pressure.
Other than that meeting with the Dalai Lama, what could China do between now and the start of the Olympics that would give you some cause for optimism?
I think what they can do a lot. What they can do a lot. At least they can stop arresting human rights activists.
Which they did again today.
Which they did again today. And I think well, the pressure is not enough. We should, you know, do more to apply pressure on the Chinese government into more desirable behavior. And I think a lot can be achieved. The most dangerous thing is that we assume the Chinese government does not care, and we give up all our efforts altogether.
Do you think the government does care?
Yes, the government cares about its international image.
Of course, there is a danger that the Olympic Games could turn into a public relations disaster for the Chinese.
It's already a public relations disaster for China. Chinese government obviously has lost the battle to keep human rights issue from the Games. They already lost the battle. The question is, what can we achieve in the 100 days? There are a lot of things that we can achieve. We will call for Chinese government to release the dozens of people.
Tibetans, monks, others.
And still serving time from the Tiananmen Square massacre.
Why do you think the government finally agreed to release you after 5 very difficult years?
Yes, I was sentenced to 5 years, and I served a full sentence. With international pressure, especially the pressure from the United States, the Chinese government sentenced me to the years much less than it would be.
Yeah.
So it is
but
possible.
But it wasn't an easy 5 years. You were tortured.
Yes. But eventually I was released and returned to the United States with the help of many Americans.
Well, you were tortured. What did they want you to do? To admit that you were an American spy?
Yes, they try to subdue you in the first place, and then they want to get information and also press for confession, which they can use against you as evidence.
Well, Dr. Yang Jianli, I just wanted to mention your website. It is called initiativesforchina.org. You can get a lot of information about the walk, and don't forget the rally this Sunday, May 4th, 2:30 to 4:30, the kickoff rally for Dr. Yang Jianli's walk from Boston to Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Good luck. And thank you for
Chet.
being here.
Thank you.
All right.